little dog. Two.
Hello, I'm Monsignor Charles Minor.
I'm Pat Shelton, and welcome to Reel to Reel.
Pat, I don't realize till recently how many people we do welcome to Reel to Reel. Everywhere I go, people say, don't I know you from somewhere? Then it turns out Reel to Reel, they know me.
And I find that each week people find us just by flipping the dial, and they stop, and they enjoy.
Thank goodness they stopped.
And most of the time, people say to me, say hello to Monsignor Minor.
Thank you. And you do say hello. And really she does. She says hello all the time, tells me you're asking for me. You know, this confusion is really great because I used to have confusion with Monsignor Linor.
Linor.
Yeah, call him the same name, but that's about it. You know, there's similarity stops there, but he never helped me.
He's not as handsome as you? He is?
Yes. Oh, yes, older too. You know, we have a lot to think about when we come to Reel to Reel, and the most beautiful part to think about is the constant reflections we get. And tonight, Bob Curtis gives us a very special kind of reflection.
My guest will be discussing adoption today and seeking birth parents and birth children. You know, Monsignor, those of us who look exactly like our parents can never really understand the mystery that adoptees feel as to where they really come from.
Indeed, life is a mystery, and we often wonder about its source and its font, but it's a beautiful thing, and we have to think about the mystery of our lives. But like anything else, all mystery is resolved in the revelation of the truth.
In May of 1984, the Catholic Charities began its post-adoption services. Caseworkers found that there was a great need for adoptive parents to contact and get information about the natural parents of their child. Many adult adoptees were also coming back, saying they need to find their birth mother. And birth parents were asking for help to find the child they had released for adoption.
Post-adoption services is a program that we've had at the agency for 5 or 6 years. We provide counseling to all members of the adoption triad, birth parents, adoptive parents, and adult adoptees, and minor adoptees too who need counseling. What I'm mostly involved in is connecting adult adoptees and their birth families at the request of either the adult adoptee or the birth parent. This involves interviewing the searching person, providing them with non-identifying background information, and then if they request contact, I do the search, contact the person that they were searching for, and if that person is willing to have a meeting, then I facilitate that reunion.
Today, agencies are aware of the many problems that adoption can cause. They feel the answer is to open up the files to provide as much information about the birth parent and adoptee, hoping that some of their questions will be answered.
The majority of my caseload over the past 5 years has been adult adoptees, but there have always been some birth parents, and it seems to me that the number of birth parents searching is increasing. There are risks involved in the search from either perspective, and birth parents were certainly told at the time that they surrendered that they should not, that they should go away and never come back. So they are slowly coming back as word of our change in attitude and our services are changing.
I was told that I was adopted when I was very young, 5 or 6. When I became 16, I decided that I wanted to search. I held off for a long time because my mother got very sick and had passed away. So I kind of put it out of my mind. And just a couple weeks ago, I decided that's what I wanted to do. I'm really not looking to find anything. I just want to see who I look like and where I came from. That's basically about it.
Well, I believed it was only a natural curiosity. It bothers me when I hear, like my son, who is also adopted and has never mentioned about looking for their adopted parents. I guess it's only natural to find out what their roots are, where they came from, what their parents look like, what kind of family are they, why, of course, the big question, why did they put me up for adoption?
He's very secure with me not deserting him. He knows I'm not going to do that. He's behind me.
Kelly explained to me that she was adopted shortly after we met. She really didn't get into great detail at the time. I've learned more about it recently since she started searching for her natural mother.
I really believe that the strongest reason for searching is the need to know. It's a very personal, deep, psychological need to know. It's about growing up. It's about forming your identity. It's about putting the puzzle pieces of your life together and getting them into perspective. For birth parents, there's the need to explain. There's the, what adoption is based on loss. Everyone's lost something. And the search and reunion experience is an attempt to find.
I wanted to search from the very beginning. I mean, once you give a child up for adoption, you just always know that one day you're going to find her and everything will be fine. So it's always there. It's just that, as years go by, things in your life change. I got married and I had a child in the marriage. And I think after that first child in the marriage, then it all comes back, and you just have to find her. I contacted Coleen Martin, and we made contact, and it's been great ever since. We've met, and it's not a mother-daughter situation. It's more like very good friends, and I think we're both happy about it. I just find the whole experience has been so great that any birth parent should do it. And hopefully it turns out to be as great as mine has.
It's real exciting for adopted people to find people who look like them and just to have the answers to their lifelong questions. It's the not knowing that bothers people. The knowing, no matter what it is a reality with which they can deal with.
Perhaps many of us are not involved in the adopting difficulties and problems. However, we still need to be very careful to pray for and hope for happy resolutions for them.
We'll have some more on this sensitive subject of adoption and seeking and finding right after this.
You are cordially invited to join the Reel-to-Reel crew as they travel through Switzerland, Austria, and Germany, gearing up for the most dramatic event staged on the European continent, the Passion Play, a world-famous tribute to the life of Christ. At Oberammergau, you will witness live on an enormous stage the events that actually happened to Jesus during his week of Passion, performed by a cast of over 1,000 professionals. This once-in-a-lifetime religious experience brings the Passion of our Lord before your very eyes. Included in your tour package is round-trip air transportation, 14 nights deluxe hotel accommodations, and daily breakfast and dinner. You will enjoy such sightseeing tours as a beautiful cruise along the Rhine River and truly experience the culture and folklore of Europe throughout your 16-day itinerary. This spectacular trip is scheduled for July 26 through August 10, 1990. Don't hesitate to reserve your seat for the Passion Play at Oberammergau because tickets are limited. All persons traveling with the Reel-to-Reel crew will receive as a bonus a 1-hour videotape capturing the memories of your trip. For more information, please call 215-587-3775.
Yes, I'm ready, Pat. Coleen Martin is with me, and Coleen is the adoption. Wait just a second, Coleen, I forgot. I know you work for Adoption and Maternity Services, Catholic Charities, Diocese of Trenton, and you are the Adoption Research Coordinator.
That's correct.
Okay.
You got all that right. I'm proud of you.
Well, Coleen is the lady that you saw in the segment just past. And Coleen, tell me exactly, what is your job at Catholic Charities?
Well, it's a multifaceted job. I provide background information to both adult adoptees and their birth parents when they request it. And I spend a lot of time searching for either the adult adoptee or the birth parent and facilitating reunions.
You do the searching, not the adoptee.
Oh, absolutely, yes. No, I do the searching. we have an active intermediary program. It's still against the law for me to release any identifying information to either the adult adoptee or the birth parent. So what I do is I make the contact, I make the other party aware of the searching party's desire, and if the found person is receptive and wants to connect, then I arrange for that.
So you're the intermediary.
Active intermediary, yes.
Okay. Now, do you find that there are very many adoptees and birth parents searching for their children?
More and more all the time. The more socially acceptable it becomes, the more publicity there is about it.
The reason I ask is I heard two varying opinions, two so-called experts on a show. One said that less than 2% search, and the other expert said 50% search. What is it? What's more true?
There are no absolute, and let me emphasize this, it is impossible for there to be actual good statistics on this. No one has come to our agency and asked for our statistics. Many people search without anyone knowing them and without the assistance of agencies. I think 2% is very, very small, and I think there's a far greater number than that. But how many, I don't know. I really have no idea. I know that I process between 200 and 300 requests per year. I know that there are many organizations out there that claim to have very large memberships, and yet the whole entire population of adopted people is pretty large too. Now, I would say it's less than 50%, but certainly more than 2.
As a layperson, my opinion is that probably women seek more than men. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Why
yes.
is that?
I think that women identify with the whole childbearing experience. Many women search while pregnant for the first time or after the birth of their first child. I think that women in our society are allowed to be more emotional and to, it's not particularly macho for a guy to go looking for his mommy when he's all grown up.
But is this a healthy thing to look, or should you just be content with your life as it is?
I think that's a real difficult question to answer. I think it's healthy for those people who want to do it. I don't think anyone should be forced to do it if they don't want to do it, but I certainly see many adopted people who have a very intense need to do this. And once it is done and resolved, they seem to be healthier for having had the experience. So we wouldn't provide the service if we didn't believe that it was a good and necessary.
So it's probably very right for some people. Yes. And I don't suppose that if you're under 18, you're allowed to search.
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
So after 18, if you have any questions about your original parentage, then you may feel free to approach an agency like yours for assistance.
The agency, we can only assist those people who were adopted through our agency. And many agencies across the country are beginning to have these type of services. Not all do.
Would you say that there are more happy reunions than unhappy?
Yes, I would. Certainly there are problems with the reunion experience, and even the most happiest of reunion experience, after that initial thrill has died down, certain realities come into play.
But you're the type of person in the position to counsel those people as
Counseling
to the pros
before,
and cons.
during, and after.
Wonderful. Thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome.
with us, Coleen. You know, the purpose of Vintage VCR is to show you that there are excellent films for the family available to you. And so, Joe O'Neill takes the time and trouble to select them for you. This week's Vintage VCR is Ride a Wild Pony.
You can't believe it. All seems right. You feel you have a degree of control over your life, and suddenly your happy and ideal mood comes to a grinding halt. A roadblock has been thrown in your way, a conflict, a confrontation. It's time to fight. Dealing with confrontation and the maturity of a fair fight is the main theme of a colorful movie called Ride a Wild Pony. It's available on Walt Disney Home Video. As family films go, you'll enjoy this story immensely. The plot is simple, but the moral undercurrent runs deep. The Australian outback before World War I is the locale. You'll meet Scott, a poor boy, an outcast. He's a wild child, ripe to be taught the lessons of a fair fight. And you'll meet Josie, a spoiled rich girl, handicapped and pampered. She's a stubborn and independent child, and she too is ripe to be taught the lessons of a fair fight. Between them comes a special wild pony, as untamed as the poor boy who loves it. But the pony gets lost. The rich girl's family finds it and trains it. And when Scott discovered who has his pony, he demands it back. No, it is Josie's pony now, he's told. Go away. In this scene from Ride a Wild Pony, Scott temporarily regains control of his horse, but Josie gets visiting privileges.
Bo, come here, Bo. Good boy. Bo, good boy. Beautiful pony. Here, Bo.
Josie, you all right?
Yes, I'm all right. Leave me alone.
I'll leave it for now. Wait till we get him home.
No. Go away, Dad. You too, Bluey. Leave me alone with him. Come on, Bo. It's all right.
Ride a Wild Pony will teach families a number of life-affirming lessons. One, that life can be terribly unfair. That's a rough one for many adults to address, let alone youngsters. 2, conflict can be resolved without breaking the law. 3, learning to face up to your problem and listening to the other side can inspire compassion. And 4, the art of compromise can bring more happiness than always getting your own way. Selfishness will always just make you miserable. In Ride a Wild Pony, Scott and Josie discover that a solution for possession of the wild pony lies in compromise. Human selflessness can build strong character. The United States Catholic Conference recommends Ride a Wild Pony for all ages. This is Vintage VCR. I'm Joe O'Neill.
Was that Joe eating on the job?
Yeah, he has to eat now because he doesn't look for his own films. But Bob DiOrio helped him find that one, so we're glad he did. So while Bob's looking for another one, stand by.
I'd like to tell you about a program unique to the Diocese of Trenton. The Maternity and Adoption Services of Catholic Charities has established a medical fund which provides counseling, medical services, food, clothing, and shelter for women facing an unplanned pregnancy. By offering these services, they can support the doctrine of our faith and allow women to make the positive choice of life for their unborn children. But they can't do it without your help. Please call 609-394-5181 and pledge your donation to save a life.
We welcome your comments and suggestions and encourage you to write us at Reel to Reel, 222 North 17th Street, room 907, Philadelphia 19103, or call us during regular business hours at 215-668-9842.
Seeking, finding, emotions of love, and there's so many elements in today's program.
There are so many elements, is right. We have a lot of elements to put together now, and I think it's the time to do it. We have a meditation, a reflection for you, and a music video. I think to put them all together, the best way to find out is what Father Bob Curtis will tell us. To resolve them, you discover that you are God's unique idea for an individual.
thank you that we are a part of this church of the lost and found. And as we wander through the woods and through the hills and the mountains and along paths that don't seem to be going anywhere, it's only with your help that we know we are found, that there is a map larger than we are, that if we keep repeating again and again our pledge of love and of service to you, that this time will be well spent and we will be found forever.
It's been said that the only constant in the world is change. Our lives change, times change, needs change. Our lives rest upon a landscape that changes day by day, sometimes minute by minute. And we have to accommodate those changes. When we're 40, we can't use the same game plan we had when we were 20. For the most part, I think we do the necessary adapting fairly well. But it's always struck me that religion is the one area where most people get stuck. Whatever they learn about God by the time they're 14, they take to the grave. And if they haven't learned anything about God by the time they're 21, often they never do. And that's very sad, because knowledge of God can turn the lights on. Scripture tells us there's a time for everything, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time for everything under heaven. And each new time comes with a new set of needs attached to it. I remember what that famous philosopher Sophie Tucker said. From birth to age 18, a girl needs good parents. From 18 to 35, she needs good looks. And from 35 to 55, she needs a good personality. And from 55 on, she needs cash. Our needs really do change when you're young and healthy and sampling all the lovely airs and exciting vapors of earth for the first time. You're perhaps less apt to make room for God. But what I want to say to you is, it's never too late. If you are one of those people who never managed to gain access to God, you can do it now. You are not an accident of nature. You're a deliberate act of God. Through all your changes, He's been waiting for you.
Our needs do change. For most of my life, Monsignor, I thought it was more important to sleep late on Sunday mornings than to go to church. But then, thank God, I changed, and I found out that it's never too late to know God.
Would you be able to say, when did that change? We suddenly realized
Well,
you had to wake up.
I was past 40.
You had to wake up.
Yeah.
What woke you up?
A child, really. Yeah, putting my son in Catholic school, to tell you the truth.
So. Well, I hope now you don't sleep in church.
Oh, no, not in our church.
No, but we do go through phases, and all the phases we have bring us to a better solution than before, we hope. And we hope your phases are now changing until you watch this again on Reel to Reel. Until I see you again, goodbye, and God bless you.
Good night, everyone.
Travel arrangements for Reel to Reel by Atkinson and Mullen, Newtown Square, PA, 215-359-5980.
What can you do about AIDS?
Create hope.
It's really important that you listen.
Put quality in their lives.
Seek reconciliation.
We need to hug and we need to say, I love you.